Something unique about Swimming Pen Creek Elementary is our school choice Montessori program. We start with ages 3-year-old and go all the way through 6th grade. We have 3 levels. Our early childhood classes serve students from 3-year-old through kindergarten. Our lower elementary has 1st through 3rd grade, and our upper elementary has 4th through 6th grade students. The overarching premise of the Montessori teaching philosophy is that children are innately curious and driven to learn and explore their environment. Dr. Montessori embraced the idea that children were not empty vessels waiting to be filled with facts of history, science, language, and math. Dr. Montessori believed that children have the ability to be self-directed learners in a prepared environment.
Oh, you get to learn at your own pace. You could either be like a little bit behind or a little bit forward or like way forward. And if you learn at your own pace, you get to do what you're comfortable with, and you don't have like all the stress of I need to do this and I don't know what to do.
I think something that's really important in the Montessori setting is that we give them the opportunity to try and to fail. And sometimes they'll pick a work that's too challenging for them, and they will realize that on their own. I'm not ready for this yet. And we never offer help to a child unless they've asked for it, because they are given that opportunity to struggle and that opportunity to fail, and they are capable of so much more than they realize and so much more than we realize as teachers and parents, because when they have that opportunity to fail, they see this is what I can do, this is what I'm not ready for yet, and where I'm headed.
Well, the curriculum is, I think that you still, especially in a public school, you do need to meet the standards and kind of follow a guideline. However, the materials and how it is presented are different. The materials might serve the same purpose of, reaching those goals. However, it's in the presentation and how it's delivered and how we assess. So we do a lot of progress monitoring. We will follow that child individually. Most works are done on an individual basis. So the curriculum has, the beauty in that you are taking little pieces at a time for each individual child and moving them and progressing them through the curriculum at different pace. Whereas in a traditional classroom, all of our, content areas are with schedule and have a curriculum guideline to follow. So in the Montessori, it's a little bit more developmentally supportive of each learning style.
I think, at least for me, one of the big benefits about Montessori is that you don't have to wait for other people. If other people take longer to finish something, you can just go on to the next thing.
It's different in a traditional setting. We, as a guide, do not stand in front of the classroom and teach necessarily to every child. We meet them at their individual level and their interest. Freedom within limits within the Montessori environment is much different than allowing children just to play and do whatever they like at any moment. The children do have freedom to choose works that are appropriate for them, both developmentally and at their academic level. So they have freedom in their choice of material during a certain time that is allowed for their work block, but they do not have freedom to just randomly do what they want when they please.
When they come in, they kind of start at the bottom, so they're new and they're learning, and then they have these examples to look up to. And then as your child grows in Montessori and they become kind of middle of the pack, like if they're in first grade and they move to second grade, they're kind of middle of the pack, and they're learning how to be a leader for the first graders coming in.
I think the best part about being in a classroom with older and younger kids is that if you need help, you can ask older kids for help, and it also gives you experience with answering people's questions that you've already learned about.
The biggest difference I've noticed with my child since being in Montessori is they are patient. My son is 8 and he is so patient with little ones, and he's very willing to kind of teach. Like, he's willing to kind of take the lead with them and help them, you know, if he sees them kind of struggling. Like, he's very sweet with them.
Montessori is super helpful because there's so many kind people. It has a lot of challenging works that can help you, and since everyone is so kind, they're kind enough to help you, and it's gonna be so much fun when you join Montessori.